Hello and welcome. We're back. The Rob Moore podcast. I've decided to rename the podcast just because I wanted to know where it was going a bit more. So it's now going to be called More or Less. So it will be cricket orientated, more or less. But that's fine. You know, it's what I know most about, and I realise how difficult it is to get into. You know, I've asked countless Bristol City players if they'd want to be interviewed for the podcast. They all said no, whereas a lot of the cricketers are very happy to talk about their careers and everything. So I think more or less the Cricketing podcast is probably the best way to go. And this week is quite an exceptional podcast, really. We've got Brislington Cricket Club, the club which I play for, celebrating their 150th anniversary. So 1868 was the first time that a club decided to play cricket under the moniker of Brislington. And 150 years later, we catch up with some of the members of the club, whether it be the players, the organisers, the club hierarchy, as it were, the president and the chairman, and I think we've got the selectors, head of the selection panel. Sorry, it was just a really good day. Obviously, it was done throughout the day, so we did it all outside. So there is a bit of wind interference with some of the interviews, but generally you can hear everything really quite well. Thanks very much for waiting quite a long time for the next podcast. It's been a lot of stuff going on personally, which meant I can't bring them out as often. But hopefully I'm going to try my hardest to try and get one out at least every 2 months. If not, I want to get one out every 1 month. But it's just getting the right guest, getting the right subject, so it's not a really boring hour of me talking dribble, really. So without further ado, we're just going to roll into each interview. They're very short. And first up we have the organiser of the 150th celebrations, and it's Kev Moore. Okay, it's 150 week up here at Brislington CC, the club that Kev Moore is the adjudicator of the whole 150th week. Kev, how are we doing?
I'm alright, Bob. You?
I've had a skinful, to be honest, mate.
It's only 2 o'clock.
Hence my little intro there was a little bit skewy.
Yeah, it was,
but we're all good. So what does this 150th week mean to you, and why are you so happy to be sort of running things?
I think when a club's 150 years old, you've got to really think about what's gone on beforehand and what's going to go on in the years to come. And a lot of the youngsters really have not experienced it. So to play against the MCC and Gloucestershire Legends and the B&D Select 11, I think is a really good. I think it's important to involve them. I think also, from the fact of the matter is, today is a declaration game and something they've never played before. So it's quite an eye opener. It's
a bit strange, isn't it? The whole declaration thing. So what's the whole idea of that?
So
then?
Very much MCC tradition is for them to bat first. You start at sort of 11:30. You have 2 hours. You come off at 1:30 for lunch. Then they would bat for the afternoon and declare at some point, and then from 5 o'clock onwards you get 20 overs to try and knock it off. And
no chance.
99% of the time the MCC win, but then that's the whole traditional part of it. And I think when some of the guys have never done that before, they're actually not sure what to do now. So they've all come in at lunch, they've all filled their boots, and now they're going to struggle in the field for the next hour.
So what are we saying? We're at 34 overs in, 207 for 2.
We'll probably go to 55, 60 overs.
Yeah, difficult out there.
It's going to be difficult now because you've got PK set on 80 plus. And he's had a very light tea, so I think he's going to come. I
haven't seen him eat anything.
No, I've just seen a new willow he's got this afternoon, so I think, he's ready to score 100. I think over 100. Once they've got 100, I think.
I remember when he came over here as an overseas, and he was selling the bats left, right, and centre.
Yeah, they weren't very good.
No, well, Jack Elston, I remember hit like 60 odd, and then hit it, and then snapped it in half trying to hit a 6.
But no, look, today's all about some of the old members. It's nice to see all the old members here, and then tomorrow. Another crop of players will play a game going into Thursday. The B&D tomorrow. Going into Thursday with the Gloucester Legends, and yourself, Bob, will be involved in that one.
Yeah, looking forward to that.
But no, I think it's really important to celebrate a milestone in the club's history, and the club's come a long way. and I think it's going for a bit of a transition with a young side at the moment, but it'll only get stronger.
So what does it mean for you to sort of be organising all this 150th stuff?
I don't know really. I just enjoy doing that sort of thing. It sort of like comes naturally with the job that I do. So I just quite enjoy it. But yeah, it's just, someone's got to. You have to have someone who's going to do it.
Is it more like just put your hand up and then
a little bit, and then it kind of went from there. I think we were meant to have a committee, and then it didn't really happen, and then you just got to get on with it. And
no, totally.
But actually, to be fair, the likes of Hugh and Ollie and Clive has been fantastic. And the boys last night cleaning the change rooms and making sure everything looked right.
The place looks great, and you definitely put the boundary out a fair few yards here.
Yeah, it's definitely a very big boundary.
Anticipating PK's arrival, I'd imagine.
I don't think it mattered too much when Reece was bowling half trackers and full tosses. But no, the boys have done. The boys have bowled well. We're Josh Whitemore's had a really good second spell.
Looking quick, really good.
Looking really good.
Yeah. Ethan Moore back as well.
It's lovely to see Ethan back, and we just want to get him back playing because he's a class cricketer.
So obviously people might not listening, they might not know. Ethan's a leg spinner, came up all through
junior cricket. Played a lot of men's cricket and lost a little bit of interest and a little bit of desire. But actually, smile on his face today. First ball was into the trees and for a big six, and I think that was like welcome back to cricket. But yeah, I think he's enjoyed it, and we'll just wait and see whether we can get him back playing next year. Yeah,
it'd be really good, really good. Kev, thanks for your time.
Thank you, Bobby. I've now got to go and try and move in the second half of the fielding.
Take the parachute off, you'd be good.
Yeah, well, thanks.
Yes. Okay, started with Ant Keynes, the club captain of Brislington Cricket Club, ahead of their 150th week. Keynesy, how we doing? We good?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, very well, thanks. Always nice to sort of do a podcast and on sort of my home turf is really nice. So what MCC today? How are we feeling about that, and how are we doing? We're about halfway through. We're 34 overs in.
It's a special day, mate. It's a great way for us to sort of start off a really special week, really. I've always grown up playing against MCC. I've been quite lucky to play against them 2 or 3 times. But yeah, I think today we're playing against some exceptional players. I think Matt Wynn is obviously captain in the side. Just found out a lad that used to play for Worcester. Has got 20 caps for Worcester. Has just gone and got 90. And then a well-known player from Briz of PK is currently on 85. So we're playing against a really good side here, and I don't think we're expecting too much, but I think we're really happy with how we've gone out there and shown what we can do. Really, it's great to see everyone having a bit of a bowl and doing what they do. So I'm pretty pleased.
It's just a chance for you guys to show sort of what you do every Saturday in and out, really, isn't it? So what are you sort of looking from your guys today, more so in terms of facing this probably quite a different team to what they normally face? And
I think the good thing about it is it's actually a different format than probably what a lot of players have played. So obviously there's a timed innings today, which they decide when they want to declare. So I think majority of the team haven't played in that format before. So I think that's quite good in terms of what am I expecting. I want everyone to enjoy it. I think this is what the 150th week is about. It's about the club's existence. It's about it being more than just you, especially me as a captain. It's more than me. It's about the club, and I think I just want to see everyone doing their best for the club and showing what Brislington Cricket Club's about.
And how proud are you to be club captain representing
Yeah, no, I am. I'm really proud. I'm really pleased to be able to do that in this special year. I don't think I initially thought about it when I first took on the captaincy 2 years ago. But yeah, I think it's great because I've been lucky enough to talk to a lot of special people over the last few weeks as well about the 150th. Like talking to Mike Stevens about the history of it. It's been great. I've had a chance to have an interview with Steve Hill from the Evening Post, which has been great. Talking about some highs and lows. Yeah, no, it's been great.
Bit weird.
Yeah, a little bit, because also you've got to remember what you've done. I'm 27, probably been playing cricket, men's cricket, since I've been like 14, and you've got to try and remember the highs, the
I mean,
lows,
it's a
the
bit
best
different,
bits.
Chat with me, we know each other, so it's a bit different to chatting to someone, you know, basically trying to big yourself up in front of a fella from the Evening Post. So I imagine it's a lot different.
I wouldn't necessarily say it's bigging yourself up, but for me, not having the best memory, I think it's just trying to recall on memories and moments.
What sort of questions did he ask you?
I think it was standard questions, nickname, what clubs I've played for, highest score, who would I want under a high catch, for instance, best moment in cricket, favourite ground.
What was that? What was your best moment in cricket?
Well, it fundamentally, it's not a Brislington cricket memory.
What?
Yeah, unfortunately. But it's actually when I think it was about 18. Yeah, it must have been 10 years ago. I think it was. I was playing for a Kingston Cricket Club at the time, my boyhood club, and we got promoted to Prem 1 on the last day of the season, where we actually needed to get 22. No, I can't remember how many points it was now, but we basically beat them by a point on the last day. But we absolutely
something about that.
Yeah, and it was just the atmosphere around the game. They already had champagne on ice, so we were going there as underdogs, and we flipped it on its head. And I think the whole atmosphere of that game was amazing. But it
just shows, doesn't it, how cricket on a whole, you know, everyone, people who don't understand it, they're always like, I don't understand how you can play it over 5 days and it still be a draw and stuff like that. But it just shows how every individual little thing means that you can do well and succeed.
I genuinely believe as well with cricket, I think it's a great leveller.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any sport that 1 minute you could go and get a ton, and then next week you could get out for a duck, and actually get brought back down to earth pretty quickly. So I think it's such a wonderful game. I know Steve asked me what format of cricket do I prefer, Test or 2020, and for me it's Test all day long. I'm probably a traditional person at heart in that sense, and absolutely love Test cricket. But I can see why 2020 is going the way it is.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, so you gonna have a bat, fancy yourself for a bat this afternoon?
Well, I've got a bit of an order, and obviously we've got a mixed a lot today from representative all over the club. So I'm going to try and make sure that everyone gets a good game. But yeah, I fancy it, to be honest. It's always nice to play against good players and players that you know that are going to test you.
Not a little sense of prove yourself, but more just give yourself that opportunity.
Yeah, definitely. I think for me, I know we've got a lot of great youngsters in this club. I took on the first team captaincy as that man who's going to allow them to transition. My time's gone, albeit I may be one of the top 11 as a first team captain. But I rather see one of my teammates do well and myself just enjoying them play well, because it's their time, and they'll be the ones that will push the club on to success for over the next 5 years, because there's a real good group coming through, and I hope that they do the club proud.
Brilliant. Thanks, Ant.
No problem, mate.
Cheers again. Okay, I'm sat with Clive Peters, the chairman of Brislington Cricket Club, ahead of their, sort of beginning of the first day of the 150th celebration. Clive, how are we doing?
Yeah, it's been a great day so far. The weather's been kind. After getting Sunday's called off, it's been nice to get it all going under head.
Are you a little bit grieved about that, being the chairman versus president's game? Wanted a chance to lift that trophy?
Yeah, well, we had a trophy, as you say, prepared for it, so it'd been nice to have had the game on, and we had some great players as well coming up. So it'd have been a good day for the club.
I was playing in the president's 11, unfortunately.
Well, we would have put you under a lot of pressure, no doubt at all.
So, what did it mean to you to sort of like be chairman ahead of this sort of like great anniversary for the club?
Oh, it's a great thing. Obviously, there's a lot of work involved with it, as all these things are.
Yeah.
But it's almost a bit of a privilege, isn't it? Because it's a great club. The grounds are great. And everything about the club is good. We just the season's going well for the cricket generally.
Yeah.
So
how we look
season.
at it, first to sat, I believe, third or fourth, aren't they?
Yeah, fourth at the moment. Yeah,
fourth at the moment, and we weren't expecting big things at the beginning of the season, but they've come out and done really well.
Yeah, and it's a massively young side as well. So it's they haven't got that same sort of experience most of the teams we're playing against have, and they've competed really well. And I think the future's looking extremely bright. And if we can retain the young players and bring on some more young players behind it, that's certainly bodes well for the future.
So you were on BBC Bristol this week as well?
Yeah. This is this old hat for me now. Like, doing all this sort of stuff. It's nothing new now. Just
I think I'll get more listeners than BBC Radio Bristol myself. But,
probably.
We'll see how we go. So how was that? How was that experience going up to BBC? And
tad nerve-wracking. And obviously it's when something you start doing and you're completely unaware what's involved with it, and so it's always a bit of a surprise. It was a bit worrying when Mike Stevens turned up with 5 sheets of A4 in his hand. I thought he was going to take over the whole 20 minutes worth, but luckily they threw another question at him and threw him out a little bit, so that was great. And then
there's always the worry, is it, like when you're at a wedding and the best man goes, "Oh, I've only got a small." There
was that moment.
Out a deck of cards.
Oh, there was a moment when you naturally do go to a cliche, and I said I've got my finger in too many pies, and my WhatsApp was going mental after that.
I can imagine it would be.
It just opens you straight up to a comment, doesn't it? So
don't leave yourself open. That's all you gotta do. Don't leave yourself open.
Inexperience of that radio sort of scenario, isn't
That's
it?
why I asked the questions.
Radio.
If I ask the questions, I don't need to answer those sort of cliche answers.
Indeed.
So how are we looking today, do you think, for the MCC game? It's a weird one. You invite them to bat first, and then they have to bat as long as they want, then declare, and it's a weird one, isn't it?
Yeah, it's kind of like it's their bat and their ball type of scenario, because but they're a great club to come up to, isn't it? It's they're very much a sort of flagship for cricket, and it's
definitely
and it's great to have the chance to put our club on the map with what we're doing today. Really, it's just a good focus for the club.
So is there a game you're looking most forward to this week to watch in?
I do quite fancy the Gloucester game, with obviously yourself playing.
I am playing in that game.
Being a very keen Gloucester supporter as well, it just seemed totally right that you should be picked. So
I fancy myself getting a lane, but we'll see.
Our biggest issue is we only bought 12 balls. That's our only worry about it.
So who's playing in that game? What names we got?
Rob Cunliffe, got Mark Elaine, I believe.
Is Kirby playing?
I'm not too sure. Is Kirby back? Or
I don't know.
Yeah. I think Wright's playing. So there's a good amount of players.
Good amount of players in there. And I suppose the aim of this week is not so to win, but more to challenge the players and celebrate. I suppose.
It's really great that we've got so many players wanting to play this week and put themselves out to play. It just shows a desire to want to play a game of cricket, and it just showcases the club brilliantly well as well. It's a beautiful ground, and
it really is.
Obviously, if you look on Instagram, you can see how great the ground looks today. It's lovely.
Do you know the Instagram handle, Clive?
Oh God, no, I ain't got the slightest idea. I just know the word Instagram.
We'll find out later on. I'll get the social media secretary on, and we'll have a little chat about that.
Indeed. Don't get me involved on Facebook. I'm old, aren't I? So on Facebook.
Well, I've had to do some stuff for you on Facebook because you hadn't had a clue what you were doing.
Indeed, yeah. But I get myself there. I got a picture on there today, which is quite good.
Didn't fancy yourself a game this year, Clive?
I always fancy myself a game, but then I realised that sometimes you've got to have an ounce of ability, and my ounce of ability has been well worn out by now. So, but
you're a fan of the little wasp flying around here?
A little one for the boys, obviously, because I didn't play as much cricket as much as the other guys did.
Yeah.
But I always remember away at Grendel, we were having a tea break, and I just bowled a wonderful spell of leg spin,
Perler,
where they could already get the ball off the square. And the guy said in his day he would turn that ball absolutely miles. And probably, if I did have me day, I probably would have done.
Never had that day. Still waiting for it to come along.
No, I think it was a Thursday. We always play on a Saturday, so it's not going to happen for me, is it? So that's how it works, isn't it? But yeah.
Thursday cricket not a thing then, Clive?
No, obviously not for me.
It? Anyway, thanks, Clive. Thanks for coming along and having a chat.
Cheers, Bob.
No worries.
Excellent. Cheers, buddy.
Bye-bye. So, carrying on from the 150th celebrations here at Brislington Cricket Club, I'm here with Tim Isles, the chairman of selectors, and also my best friend. And he's come here to chat to us about his role at Brislington in the past. Well, you played in the first year, didn't you, of the 150th?
Oh, thank you, Robert. I'd like to say that you're my best friend, but you're not. Actually.
So 150th, massive sort of like celebration and achievement, I suppose, in a sort of grand scheme of things. What's your sort of like opinion on how the celebrations have gone so far?
Yeah, it is a great achievement for Brislington. I remember my first year when I turned up as Arthur Hayward, who was then running the first chap to run the youth section. It was the first time we started.
Yeah.
And we all came through, and it was on a Sunday morning. In those days, we had covers that locked and around the windows, and you had to pull out great big 10-inch bolts every day. But it was pitch black on a Sunday morning, and Arthur greeted us with "Thank you all for coming tonight." So I will always remember that.
Thank you all for coming tonight.
Yes, and it was, and Arthur was a great man who brought me through really at a young age.
That's in the wicket gone. Sorry, we're recording this, I should say, while there's a game going on. So Will Thomas just with a very nice catch, got peak out for 116, I believe.
Well done, everybody. Yeah, just getting back to, I just wanted to mention Arthur Hayward because he was a great mentor of mine, and that's exactly what I try and do now.
Because you came in quite a bit of success, didn't you? You know, a team you were involved in had quite a bit of success for Brislington. When around was that sort of the golden years? You know, I've seen all the posters around the club and everything from the newspaper clippings and stuff.
Yeah, we had the great Stephen Gregson was our leader back then.
Yeah,
was always chosen as captain in front of me, which I've never been bitter about, really, but
a little bit,
maybe a little bit. But yeah, he always seemed to be chosen in front of me, Steve Gregson, and yet I was a far better cricketer than him.
Yeah, how much do you think?
Quite a long way, I think.
Quite a long way?
Yeah, I remember again, one of my bitter memories is when we were both 15, 16, and John Palmer, the big stalwart at Brislington, bought him a cricket bat and didn't buy me anything, and I was most upset by that. But again, I'm not one to hold grudges, and I've never, let bygones be bygones.
So what was your discipline back in the day, Timmy? Were you a bit of batter, a bit of a bowler, a bit of both?
I was definitely just a bowler in those days. Again, I think I was,
demon.
I was deemed to be quite quick at the time. I did delight in trying to hit a few people on their helmets in those days. Especially maybe when we played the Welsh, 3 Welsh teams. I used to, for some reason, like hitting them on the head.
You had Welsh teams in the league you played in,
Yeah, that was, we had Cardiff, Newport and St Fagans that were in the old Western League then.
Oh, really?
What was that then? Yep.
So do you have to go up to them and everything, go across the bridge and
over
play?
The bridge, it was always a great adventure going over to play at Newport.
Followed by nights out?
No, probably not in those days. We were probably 16, 17, 18, so yeah, maybe just on the outskirts.
Happy birthday, Tim.
Oh, I almost forgot. It is your... thank you, Mr. Ollist, coming over and saying it's actually your birthday today, isn't it, Tim?
Yes.
How old are you today, Tim?
I'm 57 today.
57 years old.
I know.
I'm probably still better than half of the first team.
No comment.
He says no comment, but he is nodding right now. So moving forward, so your current role, you're chairman of selectors.
Chairman of selectors. I mainly try and let the captains pick their teams and really don't get involved. Just organising it. Mainly try not to get involved unless there's any controversy. And
so is it quite, when that does happen? Is it quite a difficult job to do you try and keep everyone on side, or are you always in the knowledge that you're probably going to upset someone? Or
I think you are in the knowledge. I took the job on knowing that you weren't going to really get it right.
Yeah.
You'll never please 50, 60 men that all think they know everything.
Yeah. Well, we've had such a good year this year in terms of it's sort of like good and it's bad, Good in the fact that we got people that wanting to play cricket, but bad in the fact that we've only got 4 teams and not 6.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things is availability. We seem to have the first team never seems to be the same 11 every week. We seem to always have 2 drop out. We've always got 2 more that seem to be available from somewhere. So that's what sometimes makes selection hard, is trying to get that right and keeping the players that are playing at 3rd and 4th team level. That I think mainly when you've been involved with the first team, you tend to think they don't know anything about cricket and they're not. But they're probably know more about cricket and is just as keen on their cricket as anybody that are playing first team.
So what was it like when you were playing first team cricket? Was it always the same team every week? Was it similar?
There was more people. You had near enough the same team most weeks.
Like probably 1 or 2 over a season that would come in to cover.
Yeah, when the holidays or school holidays came around, maybe there was a bit different.
Yeah.
But mainly you could near enough pick the same team every week, because in those days, and I appreciate it's different now, but it was used to play cricket or football and that was it.
So. Yeah, thinking that this is sort of like not just an issue with Brislington, but sort of like club cricket on a whole, what do you think the reason that is?
I just think the world's got busier.
Yeah.
Younger lads got more to do. They seem to have to plan their lives 3 or 4 years ahead, when they're 15, 14, and it's hard for them. So I think one of the things that may have suffered is cricket. They want to play every other week because it suits them. They've got social lives, and those dreaded people, women, get involved, and young girls, and they meet them and they take over your life.
Well, that's something we started doing this year, isn't it? Here, sorry, going on from a detrimental thought about women to the good thing about women, that we've got a lovely new lady side that have joined us here.
It's fantastic, and I welcome it. It's quite good to see them here playing, and watching. I mainly watch the international cricket on TV, and I think it's fantastic. The standard is really good. Some of them are really good cricketers, and
that's something which is going to be helpful for the longevity of Brislington, and hopefully take it into its 200th anniversary.
Hopefully, yes. Long may it go on. Yes.
Will you be here for that one?
I'm not planning to. I'm looking to pop off when I'm around 60. So when I've just got like 3.
So we got 3 more years of you as chairman of selectors.
No. I have resigned 3 times this season as chairman of selectors. So I don't think I'll be lasting 3 years.
Anyway, Tim, thank you for your time.
Thank you, Robert.
Just one more sort of note. So what does Briz mean to you, as in terms of you spent most of your life playing, coaching, being a member of the club. What does it mean to you? What is it? What is cricket as part of your life? Not Brislington, but cricket.
Well, I think it's the social side. The social side is fantastic. You meet, even here today, I've met 4 or 5 guys that we used to play against years ago, and we still go straight into having a laugh and taking the mickey out of each other straight away. I think maybe that's gone out of the game a little bit today. Whereas in the old days, that you like I say, you make a lot of friends, and I still love coming to the cricket club, even though I can't play anymore, unfortunately.
I reckon you can still do a job.
Thank you, mate.
Tim Hall, thank you very much. So the first MCC player sat with me now. PK, how are we doing? We good?
I'm very good, thank you.
Very good, very good. So you played for Briz a few years ago as they're overseas. How was that? How was that as a thing to do?
It was a very good opportunity for me to come and play for Briz, because I've always heard Briz are a very good bunch of guys, and when the season ended, we got promoted as well, and it was a really great thing to play with the young players and everything, and it was fantastic. So
who stuck out for you in that team when you played?
I guess there were a lot of youngsters who were doing very well. I was happy with Will Allis doing it, Will Thomas, Milo as well. Yeah. And as I said, they got good young team. Reese is doing well as well.
Yeah,
so
really well,
it was a fantastic thing to play with all them.
So you're playing for the MCC today. That must be a real honour to come and play for the MCC.
If you ask me, I've been trying that 2 seasons ago as well.
Yeah.
But I wasn't getting that opportunity to come and play.
Yeah.
This is my second game for MCC, and I've been lucky enough to get hundreds in both the games.
Well, we saw a magnificent century today on the part of yourself.
Yeah.
It's nothing beats it, does it? Nothing beats going out there getting 100. I can't speak from personal accomplishments, but it must be so nice to go out there and get yourself 100, especially on this ground which brought so much to you.
Yeah, like I was being asked to come and play at Briz, and I was like, I'm ready for that, because it's been a fantastic ground, people are good, and it's always a good atmosphere to come and play. And I was really happy to get 100 as well for my team, and had a good laugh with the guys as well.
So you just over for a bit of a cricket tour, or have a little, sort of visit some old friends, or what were you doing while you were over to this time?
I've been playing a few games as well. If you ask me, I'm not playing that many games.
Yeah.
A bit of on a holiday as well, and my holiday's always been playing cricket, so I can say that I'm on a holiday.
But you're a cricket, that's what I say about people who play cricket. Above all, they're fans.
Yeah.
So wherever, even if you're on holiday, people go on tours, watching cricket tours and stuff like that. It's just born in the blood, isn't it? If you love cricket, you go and watch it, play, whatever.
The best thing is, like, I feel myself very happy when I'm playing cricket, when I'm on the ground. If I'm sitting at home doing nothing, I don't feel good at all. So I guess I've come at the best place and playing the best sport.
So 150 years of a cricket club is quite some achievement.
Oh, that's a really
Love you,
big.
PK.
It's a really big achievement, and Briz has done very well. I would like to congrats them for the 150th anniversary, and I hope they make more than 300 years as well, which would be fantastic. Probably I might not be there, but still it would be a class thing to do.
Well, I definitely think Richard Ollis will still be here.
Yeah, he's a legend anyway. It's been fantastic to play with him and his son as well.
Yeah,
he's been class set.
There's just some great, sort of, like you say, great young players, but there's the thing with this club, isn't it? It's not all about the first team. It's a club in general. We fill 4 sides on a Saturday, but there's no sort of divide. It's all very inclusive. It's just a really nice place to be around.
If you ask me, it doesn't look like anyone's taking pressure on playing any cricket. They're just more like enjoying the sport, which should be done.
Is that a good way to do it?
It's the best way to do, I think. And you got good players coming at. Jack Gunningham is there, Josh is there, Will Thomas is there. Where these players are getting a good opportunity this year, where they don't have an overseas as well, which is great on their shoulders to come and just get. And Will's doing very well this season.
Yeah, Will's got wickets left, right, and centre. He's got 100. It's
I've
200.
I've been looking through the stats, and he's got probably 5 wickets 2 times and 200. So
it's
he's been doing well.
Is still in for Player of the Season, definitely. So what about you, PK? What's in your future? What you looking to do in England and at home in India?
Probably visit a bit of England before I go, and probably come back next season. Briz has already asked me to come if I can.
Yeah.
If the visa issues get cleared, I'll be here then. Anyways.
Yeah, it would be great to have you back. What about sort of like at home domestically? What where are you at in sort of like your India cricket?
I'm playing right now from Mumbai as well, and we've just started a new T20 league, which is like a just like an IPL, and it's
it like the sort of like division below IPL, or
just a division below IPL, and all the games are live on television. And,
brilliant!
You got all international players playing, like Ajinkya Rahane, Rohit Sharma. So those are the icon players, and we are playing under them, which is a fantastic thing. And
so people who play in the IPL are sort of the captains.
Yeah. So like all guys who are from Mumbai.
Yeah.
Are all the icon players of the 6 teams, and it's going to be a season 2 in December. All the matches are again on ESPN Live.
Is this a new thing, or was that?
It's a new thing. It's just started in March 2018, which actually should have started in December 2017, but they had some delays, so it took a bit of time. So the second season is starting in December 2018, which would be a fantastic one again.
So you try. What are you thinking? Get into the IPL?
Love to get it. I'm trying my hard. So let's see what happens.
So how have you done? How did you do domestically last year?
Last year was good. It wasn't bad. We played few games before our first class games, and I got.
So, what's the first class game over there? Is it
Mumbai.
Still but is it same as over here, like 4-day cricket, like county?
First class cricket is 4-day cricket. Yeah. Then you got a 1-days and T20s.
Yeah.
But
so exactly the same as
Mumbai is
England,
looking more for me as a 1-day and T20 player, because I'm more like an all-rounder, a batsman who can bowl. So they're thinking of putting me in.
Well, it's ideal, isn't it? Brilliant. Okay, right. Thank you very much, PK.
Thank you very much, bro.
See you soon.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, next we're here with Hugh Grove, so the former chairman of Brislington Cricket Club here in Brislington. Hugh, how are we doing?
Very good, thank you.
It's 150 years. It's so crazy.
Yeah.
It's such a massive amount of time.
It's flown by.
Obviously, you were here for the first year, weren't you, Hugh?
Yeah, indeed. Yeah.
So when did you first get involved in Brislington?
I came over from Wales in 1986. I was actually recruited by a gentleman called Pete Hardwick, who turned up one winter's night on my doorstep, knocking on the door and asking to come in.
What? So had you played cricket previous to that, or
I had in Wales, yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So Pete Hardwick brought you up here,
and he'd heard of my reputation.
So you just sort of started playing, and then what was your sort of like main playing career like? What did you do? In terms of
Well, I joined in '86, and I was either number 3 or opening bat, and at the time I think we had some pretty good players around at Brislington.
So name to names, just the big ones.
Timmy Isles was probably one.
Yeah,
of the
we
best
talked to
bowlers
Tim
in the
earlier today. Yeah,
Steve Gregson, Richard Ginningham. We had some very good players who don't play for us anymore. Lawson Roll, Roger Edbrook.
Mm-hmm.
And then latterly Richard Ollis took the club down when he joined in 1992.
There's a lot of sort of like names, and that was a really good time for the club. But what do you see from the club in its sort of present day? What would you like to see going forward, or if any, generally just how it affects everyone else?
I'd like to see the club play at a higher level.
Mm-hmm.
We're currently in the Bristol North Somerset.
Yeah.
We had 1 year in Prem 2 when I was chairman, and sadly we got relegated.
Yeah.
Because I think we've got some pretty good youngsters coming through now, and I'd actually like to see them play at that notch up.
So where's the difference maker there? Where can we do you think that Brislington could move forward to really compete in that?
Well, I think we've got to be pretty active with our recruitment.
Yeah.
We've never really picked up too many players from the local cricketing area. There's some good guys playing at a lower level who could probably play at that level.
Yeah.
And I think we probably do need to consider our strategy in terms of going forward. Either get some really good local players to join what we got, or or go back to the overseas player. We got one here today, PK.
He chatted with us earlier. It's so good, amazing. Yeah,
and he added a lot to the club at the time. So I'd just like to see us just go a notch up, and I think that would help us then recruit better young cricketers into the club. Because numbers-wise, we seem to be all right. It's just we need a little bit more quality.
It does seem that, doesn't it? It's sort of like we managed to, we're struggling to fit the amount of players we've got into 4 sides at the moment,
which is great.
Oh, it is amazing.
Yeah.
Obviously not too great for those right down at the bottom who struggle to get a game.
Yeah.
But you can't,
even me, I bought a new shirt to play in this year, and I haven't had to be called on, thank God. So.
Well, do you know what? It's some great cricket going on here at the moment. We are recording outside in the marquee, watching the cricket. It's such a great atmosphere.
Yeah.
That's the thing which no one really gets from Brislington, is it? It's the atmosphere that comes along with playing up here.
Yeah.
How did you find the atmosphere when you played up here?
It was very good because I think nearly all of us got divorced within 3 years of doing this. Those who are married. So we had a very good time, and we did used to play. We used to play on Saturdays, and then we used to play on Sundays. We used to play 60 over game on a Sunday as well. So it was So 45 on a Saturday, 60 on a Sunday, and get on the lash 2 or 3 days in the weekend, and it was quite hard work.
I can imagine it would be. What's your opinion on Sunday cricket now? Because obviously, it seems to have had a wee bit of a. We used to fill 2 sides on a Sunday.
Yeah.
Where do you see the decline in that? What do you put that down to?
Again, it's pretty frustrating because I set that league up a few years ago to try and generate more interest in the Sunday cricket.
Yeah.
To be honest, people don't want to play on Sundays. It's a big commitment time-wise. We've now gone into this T20 competition.
Do you like that idea?
I didn't really want us to go down that route, but if it means that's the only way you can get Sunday cricket up here, then that's great. Because otherwise, you've just got a fallow field and no revenue. And we have a good laugh on some Sundays, don't we?
Obviously
you were here at Froome when I went down there. And
I enjoy my Sunday cricket because it seems so inclusive.
Yeah.
I'm playing with first team players, and I play in the 4th division.
Yeah.
So it's such an inclusive thing, and T20 itself seems to be just the way to go on a Sunday. But obviously, you'd like to see more longer game formats, I suppose.
I mean, I don't care. I just want some form of cricket being played. But ideally, you don't want it. But if people don't want to play it, T20. But it would be nice for some of the better players to commit to playing on Sunday as well.
So with 150 years of Brislington Cricket Club
fantastic.
Here, such a great achievement. Yeah. What do you see your highlights are in the time you've been here? Maybe as chairman or as player, what would you say your highlights are? I mean, in those?
We've won a number of cups, so we won the Gloucestershire Cup a few times. We won the Somerset Cup, so that's always nice. The second team won the Somerset Cup recently. Yeah. So it's difficult, but I think it's a fantastic ground. You've just got to look at the facilities here today. The MCC guys are very complimentary about it. There's guys playing here who've come down from Scotland, Chesterfield, and they're actually enjoying their cricket here today. So I think we can give a lot to people who want to join us. You've joined. How many years have you been here now?
I joined when I was 18, and I'm 24 on Saturday.
Yeah. So it's a good social contact as well, isn't it?
Well, it's funny you say, because I came not knowing really anyone, and now 6 years on, and I've got some life friends that I've made from not playing cricket, but just being around the club. I'll come here on any day, and people would be like, hello, how are you doing? Yeah, it's just the way it is, and I wouldn't find that from any other sport, I don't think.
Yeah. And it's nice that it could be 16 to 60. It doesn't really matter. I'm 60 next year, but you can still have a good crack with the young
I mean, there's there's loads of people here, like Derek Thomas and Mike Stevens, our president, who were here at the 25th anniversary and stuff like that. That was a joke.
Yeah. Indeed. I was going to say you've got to be at least 90.
So in terms of let's go wider, 150th, brilliant. Brislington cricket in general. Yeah. So cricket in general, what would you say? Why is cricket so important to you as a human being? Why is cricket so personal?
It's hard. That's a hard one to say. I mean, it's always been in my blood. I've always loved playing in it. I've always enjoyed the social contacts. Sometimes too much. But I think it is a game that you could be 16 or 60. Like football, you can't really do that, right? And rugby and all those team sports. Mm-hmm. And I also think as well, it helps the younger kids who mix with adults more at 14, 15, 16. They get a better understanding of what's needed when they get older. Because when you play football, you tend to play 16-year-old play with all your mates.
I mean, I was never much into football, but I understand the
concept. There's very few games that you play that breadth of age, and I think it just helps kids mature as well. But it's all about the crack, the laugh, the cricket off the pitch as well, and we're pretty good at that.
So there is a little chant associated with your name, Mr. Grove. Have you not heard of this, Grove?
No, I don't think I have actually. So.
Have you not heard of this?
No?
Well, we won't talk about it then.
I think my son might have inherited the chant actually.
So you are aware. You're aware. But ultimately, you and your family particularly have and Reese in particular has dedicated a hell of a lot of time to the club.
No, I've loved it.
And do you think it's worth it in the long scheme of things?
Well, Gloria might say no, but I would definitely say.
Well, Gloria's here today in a lovely summer dresses, enjoying it. Sat there with the ladies,
and it's nice that again that is nice because we seem to be getting more of the women now coming back up.
Yeah.
Whereas for a few years we didn't have that sort of atmosphere.
Well, it seems to have like taken full circle, really. Now we've got a girls' division, we've got a ladies' division.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Really becoming all inclusive. And this year, for the first time, the 150th anniversary of Brislington Cricket Club, the first time that ladies are allowed to the club dinner.
Yeah.
I'm
not going to be there, but
but it's just full circle, isn't it? It's all inclusive. It really sets the precedent for the next 150 years, doesn't it?
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to being around for those as well. So.
I asked him earlier, said, I'll be here for another 3 years and probably top my chops.
It's great, and so hopefully the rest of the week's going to be really, really successful.
Which game are you looking forward to the most?
Well, I think this is the
probably more in the Gloucestershire game.
Sorry, but this is this is the mark game.
It really is. Yeah, I agree. The MCC is such a big people. It's such a big team. Lords and all that. To play a game of that to play a team of that standard is unbelievable.
But like you say, there's ex-county players out there. And it's very nice. So, brilliant.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, Hugh.
Okay, thanks, Bob.
Cheers.
Yeah, cheers, mate.
Okay, we're here with Rich Hollis, lifelong club member of Brislington Cricket Club, ahead of their 150th anniversary celebrations. Rich, how are we doing?
I'm fine, thank you, Bobby. It's lovely to see you.
I had to drag you over here to have a chat with me.
I know, I'm not very good talking on these little things.
Oh, you love it. What are you on about? You're a natural.
It's technology, mate. Don't go with me.
You don't do technology.
No.
Well, all you have to do on this part is just put some headphones on and talk. So are you happy with that?
I've got them on, Bobby.
You have. Look
how
very good.
And how do I look?
Well, the general consensus around the club is they were surprised they got over your nose, but
I put them on sideways.
So 150 years is such
Fantastic.
an achievement, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's,
yeah. What, for me to be here
well,
150 years?
well, you were here on the 25th, so I don't
I was actually.
but such a great.
Oh, sorry, that's my phone. Hello.
This is what happened when recording live. The phone's on.
I do apologise.
You silence
Should I
that.
just tie that off? Yes.
Yeah, silence that. I got that done.
No, it's a fantastic thing for the club, and it's well deserved, to be honest with you.
So how long have you been involved with Brislington?
Since 1989, I moved over from Keynsham, or they kept on and on at me, and they dragged me away from Keynsham.
Is that how you see it?
Did you not know that I actually played for Keynsham?
Well, I knew you played for Somerset.
Oh, yes, I did.
In first class cricket.
Yes, yes.
So how many caps did you get for Somerset in first class?
Games. I think I played about 42 first class games.
42 first.
Yes.
And any sort of England call on the line when you were there?
No.
How did you do for Somerset?
Not as well as I should have done. I got highest score of 99 not out against your beloved Gloucestershire at Bristol.
No, they are my favourite. That is true.
I let them off. Just that.
Did you?
Run, yeah.
Just 99 not out.
Yeah. Are they listening to us? Can they hear us?
They can't hear us, but we can hear them. Like I said, we're recording live today during the Brislington's game against the MCC. So they've just come off a tee with Brislington 62 for no wicket off of 17 overs, chasing 256.
Yeah, batting very well, the boys.
Yeah, so it's just been such a year this year, you know, with the young guys coming through and finally doing what we knew they were capable of.
Yeah, it's really nice. It's nice to see, isn't it? What is it, the average age of the first team is about 22.
Yeah,
is it?
it's not a lot, is it? You know,
no. And that's why I stopped playing. I didn't want.
Well, you sort of you were such a stalwart in the first team for years and years and years. What made you sort of take a back seat?
Age, mate. Just found I could not do what I wanted.
You had
to
a
do
game
anymore.
this year.
I did.
You had a game this year.
Did I enjoy that?
You did, I think.
I know it was enjoyable playing with you, Bobby, and take your 4 wickets.
It was
very disappointing that you didn't take a 5-for.
Yeah, it was upsetting.
Yeah,
it's the second time I've had 4 wickets.
It was one of my most enjoyable games. And PK's just come to join us.
PK's here. PK had
legendary man.
He is a legendary man. You were quite correct. So like we're going on back onto 150 years. So what was your best memory from mainly from your playing days, I suppose?
What, for Brislington?
Yeah, for Brislington. Yeah.
Well, so many, to be honest with you. I enjoyed the year I captained the side, which was about 6 or 7 years ago.
Yep.
I enjoyed that. We won the Somerset Cup going back in, I think it was about 1990, I think was it? Somewhere around there.
Wow.
Not that I can actually remember playing the game.
No. No. So
Apparently
what did you do in that year when you captained? Did you lead to promotion or?
No, we won the B&D 20 over cup, which was a nice little achievement, and it was with a mixed side actually, and that's what I enjoyed. You had Crispy played, Nick Henley, Kev Moore. You know, so we tried to just share it around a little bit rather than just the first team.
Oh, totally, yeah. And that's the whole idea of this week as well, isn't it? It's sort of like making it all inclusive for the club. It's not a first team week, is it, at all?
And that's not what it should be, should it? 150 years, celebrating 150 years and letting the whole club enjoy and celebrating that 150 years.
You know, it's why I so enjoy playing this week and playing on in Sunday cricket in the T20 League because, you know, I'm playing with first team cricketers and I'm playing the fourth team. You know, it really promotes that all-inclusive nature for Brislington.
That's why it's a little bit of a shame, isn't it? The Sunday cricket is sort of dying out a little bit.
What's your view on that? Because we spoke to Hugh about that earlier, and he was saying
he had some very good points.
Oh, he did. It was because he came up with the league and this, that, and the other, and he's worried for the future of it. In that regard, what's your opinion?
Probably the same thoughts as you. It is disappointing that young players who are playing maybe third, second team cricket on a Saturday.
Yeah,
it's nice, and even some who are not even probably getting a game at all on a Saturday because of schools cricket and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
That they're able to play senior cricket on a Sunday.
What do you think that is?
They got too much else to do, haven't they?
Yeah,
I think that's the problem.
You know, because from talking to Tim earlier as well, he was on the proviso that, you know, sort of like 10, 20 years ago, there was, you know, not a lot else to do. Is that the issue, that there's too much else to do now?
Whether it's because it's too long a day and they're playing on Saturdays, playing midweek, that Sundays is a, I don't know, rest day, take the girlfriend out.
Yeah, that's exactly what Tim was
saying.
saying.
Play on the PlayStation.
Luckily for me, I'm a single man, so I don't have those issues.
You should be able to play all the time, shouldn't you?
I do.
Yeah.
I'll try my best. So ahead of which game are you most looking for? Obviously we got the MCC today. Which game are you most looking forward to this week?
Well, every game I think this week, is they got some good little fixtures, haven't they? The MCC today, is it the B&D?
B&D Club 11 tomorrow, yeah.
Which is nice, you know, that's a good recognition for the B&D to be, you know, asked to if they'd like to put a side out up here.
Yeah.
And obviously the Gloucester Legends.
I'm so looking forward to that.
Are you actually playing in that game?
I am playing in that game, yeah.
It's. Do you know who's playing? I don't know who's playing for them.
I've heard. I'm not sure the team hasn't been converted to me, but at the moment Mark Alain's playing.
Oh, fantastic!
Steve Kirby, Cunliffe playing as well.
Nice.
There's some really good players in that team, and I look forward to getting them all out.
I'm sure you will, Bobby. I'm sure you will.
No one likes the slow stuff. So, what do you take from your career? Because obviously you've had such a long career in cricket, and you know, sort of tying down on the playing side now. What do you take from your career now? You know, obviously going to the back end of your career and also your life in a way. What would you take from
all the people you've met, friendships you make?
And is that the same for cricket in general?
I think so. Just in general, isn't it? All the grounds you played on, you know, being travelling around the country playing cricket. Obviously, when I played.
Could you imagine doing anything else?
No, at the time it was fantastic, wasn't it? When I was 16 years old, got offered a contract at Somerset. The thought of 7 days a week playing cricket,
I'm getting paid for it, I suppose.
Getting paid, not a lot of money actually at that time, but
I can imagine.
You know, at least it was something, wasn't it? So,
yeah. I was chatting to Benny Howell about it, you know, in my last podcast, and he was saying how why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
You know, why can you see a life when you wouldn't be playing sport for a living?
I'll be honest with you, I can't, even not for a living, I can't understand why people just wouldn't want to play sport. Any opportunity, whether it's Monday, I know obviously work, families, that sort of thing, but any time you get, because you're only young once, and you get to 57 like I am now, can't do it anymore.
Everything's starting to hurt, is it?
Yeah, and everything's starting to hurt, and you can't do it. Is that a bit of thunder?
I'm not sure. No. It's just because we're doing this outside.
It's God listening to me on the.
Shut up, Richard.
You're talking a load of. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, I have said to Mr. Ollis that swearing is not allowed on my podcast.
They wouldn't believe it if I don't actually put a little swear word in.
Come on, you can put one.
And
in.
There's Harry
you
can put one over there.
You can put one in.
Talking the swear words.
You may slide one in.
No, I can't do that. There might be young children listening to this, so. No.
You obviously don't know my my general demographic. It's generally just Gloucester CC members. So generally, 150 years, such a absolutely great achievement, and stuff like that. Do you see the club going?
Yeah.
Massively
definitely.
Longevity.
Yeah, and I think that's the good thing at the moment with this club is that obviously we run 4 sides on a Saturday, don't we? Still.
Yeah.
You've got the junior section still running a side on a
huge,
Sunday. Yeah. So I think there will be a number of clubs over the next 5 years that will fold, just because of where they are, not having junior sections, etc. So with a bit of luck,
we're in a good position.
Yeah, with a bit of luck, we're in a position. The only issue is you might pick up a few players from these other clubs, which won't be nice for them, but it could be good for us.
Wouldn't the only issue be that the competition becomes lower, that the amount of people you have in the leagues and stuff like that becomes lower?
I think it would be better, to be honest with you.
Make it more concise?
I think it's too many teams, too many local clubs around. That's what's going to happen now. Too many, there's just not enough to go around, is there?
So. It's true. It's true. Like the fourth team, like I played for example, had a game cancelled on Saturday just because they couldn't fill the sides. Well,
and also what's going to happen now? First week in August, isn't it? Football starts.
It does indeed.
And that's going to have a detrimental effect, I think, on a few people either playing or wanting to go and watch their favourite side. So, yeah.
Well, Rich, thank you very much for coming to talk to me.
Bob,
I know
it's
I
been
had
a pleasure.
Drag you over here.
It's been a pleasure, Bob. It's fantastic that you're actually doing this for the club.
Yeah, well it's I do it generally, so it's kind of nice, on such a special celebration to come over and have a little, just do a podcast. Say what in general, try and introduce people to why I find cricket so special.
It is.
And it
Fantastic
really
game.
is.
Keep playing as long as you can, Bobby.
I will try.
Good.
Thanks very much.
Appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Okay, we're here with Nick Henley, the second team player, former captain as well. Nick, how are we doing?
I'm very well, Bob. A bit gutted to see I'm about the 6th or 7th on your list here to be interviewed, but got her at last.
It's like I'm just trying to ask everyone, and you're always on my list. You're my favourite, this.
Oh, well, I'd like to think I was the first on your list, Bob.
But I have to make the others feel relevant as well. Even if you were first on my list, it's just I don't want to make them feel bad.
It's for the benefit of others rather than
exactly.
Yeah.
Totally.
I appreciate that.
150 years, such a great achievement. What's your from your playing years here at Brislington?
Well, my playing years probably close to 20 years, I reckon. Makes me feel a little bit old as I'm reaching my late 20s.
Yep.
But I would say 150 years as a whole for a local amateur sports club is a remarkable achievement, and I wouldn't have thought many clubs which have been founded in the last decade may not reach that far. So we're lucky to be part of this
What
club.
do you put that down to? What do you put that down to, the longevity part of it?
Has to be the volunteers, has to be the countless hours and tireless work put in by the stalwarts of the club, really, over the last 150 years. So yeah, we have to be grateful for the people who's come before us.
100%, yeah.
That actually puts us in this position which we are in today, for you to be interviewing me, to be watching this game of cricket, to be surrounded by the members of the club that are here. So yeah, that's what I put it down to.
If it wasn't for cricket, would I be sat here doing this? 100% no.
Would I be
100%.
taking a week off work? Probably not.
It's holiday we're all using here.
But cricket is not a normal sport. It's not.
I know exactly what you
It's
mean.
not your game of football, your game of rugby, or even your game of darts, your game of pool, your game of cards. Is a very unusual game which draws people together in a very unique way. It's probably what keeps us playing. It's kept the past generations of Brislington Cricket Club members, kept them playing, which has enabled us to be here and play and use these facilities, which we're doing today and this week, and hopefully for many years to come.
I mean, haven't we filled in 4 sides on a Saturday? We got a T20 side on a Sunday. Loads of youth cricket going on in midweek. It's a good place to be.
Yeah, and we can't forget the women's part of that as well. It's just absolutely magnificent, I think, to be constantly putting out 44 players every single Saturday, and probably not the same 44 for a second week in a row or a third week in a row. We're probably using, I would say, near 75-80 different senior and junior members to fulfill those sides. But yeah, just absolutely fantastic.
So, personally then, going on from, I've asked everyone this question, sort of a personal sort of, what do you take from, how, you said you've been playing for the club for 20 years, what would you take mainly, what would you say is your pioneer moment playing for the club?
I would say my friends. I would say the majority of my friends come from this club. People who are not necessarily meet or become friends with without cricket and without this club.
Well, I'll attest to that. You and me are very good friends. Would we have become friends without cricket? Probably not.
We wouldn't have met without cricket.
Yeah, definitely.
And that's part of this club and part of cricket. It pulls people together from all different types of society. So yes.
What about playing then? What would you say your highlights are from playing cricket?
Probably just, like you say, just
What's
playing.
what's your you got that great partnership you had with Tomo? What was that?
Me and Tomo a few years back, we put on a decent partnership away at Clevedon.
A decent partnership?
Yeah, it's 331, something like that. I don't like to talk about it. But
I wanted to get you to talk about it.
We made the paper, and I think there's talks of it being the highest partnership in
Notice how
Brislington,
he sort of swans
Bristol
that off
history,
as like not a lot. Ah, 330. Was that good though?
Yeah, it was good. It was very good. The biggest disappointment for me was my dad wasn't there. Probably the only game he missed me ever play, which was good telling him about it because I never hit a bad shot. Obviously, never got dropped. Obviously. I think it was about 15 sixes.
I mean, it's good you come on to your dad because obviously he passed away a couple of years ago, and he was such a great member of the club. But he came to every one of your matches, and how good was that?
I tell you what, Rob, he probably missed less than half a dozen games, including junior, senior, Saturday, Sunday, every cricket I would have ever played. So yeah, it was. Without my dad, I wouldn't have been playing cricket, for sure. Without my dad, I wouldn't have met the friends I've met through cricket and become the person I am today. So I'm incredibly grateful that my dad was around.
100% agree with you because obviously my backstory and the fact that your dad came up my school and telling me about cricket and everything. So if it hadn't been for your dad, I don't think I'd be playing cricket today either.
And it goes, this week is not just been this year or the last 2 years in the making. It was a long time in the progress. And my dad was part of planning this week. It's great shame, personal shame and personal aspect that he's not here. But hopefully we can make him proud, and if he was able to see it, Kev's done a great job, absolutely fantastic job. So. Yeah, we're all happy to be here. We're all proud to be here and doing the things we're doing. No doubt, if my dad was around, might have been a little bit better, maybe. Just a bit of bias there, but.
Well, he did a great Super 6 day. But whenever he had his Super 6, that was a brilliant day.
Yeah, the thing is with Dad, he put a lot of effort into the club. Made everyone feel welcome. Like yourself, you might. Well, you wouldn't have been playing yourself if it wasn't for my.
Honestly, if I, obviously my story is the fact that I looked over my hedge and then my mate was playing cricket and I started chucking a couple of balls down into it, and that's how I got into it. But had I not had that basis of sort of like someone coming up to my school and telling us about cricket, would I have an interest? Yeah. Probably not.
Yeah, that's an amazing thing, I mean, I wish my dad was here, of course I do, but I'm not going to be one to be upset and ponder and worry about what's not happened. All I can do is do my best to play tomorrow, do my best playing Thursday, and like to think of my dad looking down and seeing me do alright, Matty doing alright, you doing alright, Bobby, Nutty doing alright, because Nutty himself was pretty much of a third son to me dad. And Nutty loved my dad the same as probably the same as his boys did, so I got no regrets. I've got no sadness and no sorrow for the fact he's not here. I just appreciate the times he was, and hopefully we can move through this week. Like I say, Kev Morris done an absolutely amazing job.
The organisation up top has been amazing. Yeah,
it's
really
been fantastic. Good. But it's not. Kev's obviously done amazing. Thanks to all the players to been available, the teams that's been available to put themselves out and play against us. So amazing.
So which one are you looking most forward to, Nick?
Well, which game?
Which game this week?
Well, probably today because I'm not playing. Considering the opposition,
we chatted to Harry earlier, and it was me, you, and Harry have been on the amber liquid today.
Well, I mean, some of it can handle us. can handle it better than others.
You and me above Harry, of course.
Well, obviously,
he's just sat right next to us, and he's looking pretty abashed by this.
But yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to it all, to be honest. Tomorrow I've got the privilege to captain the club.
Yeah, you have, haven't you? Yeah, you're
which in a week where we're looking at probably 60 players representing the club, including if we played Sunday, the chairman's presidents, only 4 captains. So I've got the privilege to do that, and I'm very, very excited.
How
very
proud are you to do that on this year?
Yeah, very proud.
It's such an honour, isn't it? When you consider the amount of players that have played for even between the 150th and the 100th anniversary, when we'll talk to Mike Stevens later on, but when having that gap there, and you're thinking, I've got the opportunity to represent not just today's club, but the past 150
Yeah, well,
years.
I look at it as a way I can hopefully use the players in a way they can enjoy the day.
Is that more for you? What you do as a captain? Do you like to think about less the win, but more the...
No, I think as a captain, you need to think about the win. I think that's fundamentally why you play any sport, to win.
You misunderstand. It's more like, would you rather upset 3 people at the case of winning, or rather everyone have a go and be partaking?
No, I'd rather all 11 players be happy and we win.
That's the ultimate.
That is the ultimate.
Does
and
it
that's why
often
you're
happen?
captain. It can do. It can happen.
Just to update, the MCC have just got Jack Gunningham out, I think, for 33, I'm guessing.
Yeah,
28? Okay, he always bats 2. Nick, thank you very much for coming on and chatting to me. It was quite heartwarming and really nice to hear about sort of like your time in cricket and the time with your dad watching you playing cricket. Obviously, it's a big part of the club, and really thank you for coming on and sharing that with us.
Thank you very much for interviewing me, Bobby. I'd just like to...
It's not an interview, mate. It's a chat.
Put a few thanks out there. The ground staff has done a phenomenal job. I mean, I think they were at 6 o'clock this morning.
They were
doing what they can do to make the pitch. Obviously, we're talking here and you can't see, but the venue here is absolutely second to none. So the ground staff, absolutely fantastic. Clive Peters and Kevin Moore,
both on earlier today. Yeah, really.
And the rest of the guys, I can't mention everyone, but for putting in the effort they've done, it's been absolutely brilliant. The players for making themselves available. Obviously, everyone here works, so it's difficult to put the time off work and organise it and rearrange things, but
yeah.
Absolutely fantastic. And mainly, Bob, thank you very much to you, one of my absolute best mates in the world. I love you to bits. I feel sorry for you having to sit here for hours on end interviewing God knows how many people.
Well, it's something I love to do, and to be honest, I would rather do it for this club than any other else, because it's the best.
Because no one else will have you.
Very true. Just finally, Nick, what does cricket mean to you? Tim talked about it was less what happened on the field and more the camaraderie and the social side you had outside the game. What is cricket to you?
I think cricket is life. If you're a cricketer,
I agree personally.
If you love cricket, then cricket's life. There's no getting around it. You play to when you can, and that's all I can say. Cricket is not just a sport. It's not just a hobby. Cricket is life, and
And this is coming from someone who loves pretty much every other sport as well. You've chosen it as your sort of...
Yeah, I love all sports. Absolutely every sport I absolutely love, but cricket is...
It's the one.
It's not just a sport, it's a game, and to have so many physical aspects and mental aspects of the game. That's why cricket's the best game in the world, mate.
Thank you very much, Nick. Obviously... Great kudos to you and Matty, both great friends of mine. Your dad is forever in my brain and in my heart as to my sort of beginnings of cricket. So thanks so much for coming on.
No worries,
really appreciate it.
Hopefully you can get Matty on here to bore you for a couple of minutes and maybe not to entertain you for 10 seconds, but that's all he's good for. So yeah, cheers, Bob.
Thank you very much.
Cheers, mate. Bye.
Okay, I'm here with Mike Stevens, the president of Brislington Cricket Club, ahead of during, I suppose, their 150th celebrations for the club as a whole. Mike, how are we doing? We good?
Yeah, we're doing okay. We're here today, it's a glorious day, and we're playing the MCC, which can't be bad. And it just shows how the history of the club, 150 years, is a tremendous effort, and it's thanks to a huge number of people over the years, but as a club we're still going strong, and it's great to celebrate this wonderful anniversary.
I know what you mean. It's such a great achievement. And what do you put that down to? What do you put the 100? It's such a big year, you know. People don't live that long. 150 years of Brislington.
Well, I think it's down to the fact that we were originally a village club, and we still really are a village club with a very close knit community of players,
Very true.
players' families, and it's been that sort of club over the years. I mean, we're here at Armold Lane now, which is our, without doubt, a ground with some of the best facilities anywhere in the Bristol area for cricket. But of course, we started back actually not far from here at several venues on the Brislington House estate before we moved down to West Town Lane in 1909. We were there for 50 years on a small ground next to the Imperial ground.
Right, yeah.
It's a ground that we didn't own, we only rented, and then in 1959 it was sold for house building, and at that stage we thought possibly that the club would fold because we didn't have the money to buy a new ground. But
So when were you involved in the club at that point?
I joined the club in 1957.
So you were there for when we started at Armold Lane?
Yes, I was there for 3 years at West Town Lane, then when we started up here in 1960 at Armold
So
Lane.
what led to the move? What was
Well, as I say, we didn't own the ground. The person who owned the ground was approached for it to sell for building, which she did, but
yeah.
very, very generously, she allowed us to make a small amount of money on the sale of the ground, which enabled us to buy this 8 acres up here at Armold Lane.
So you mentioned you joined the team in 1957. So were you a player or?
Yes, I played in 1957. I played right through on up here at Armold Lane, through to mid 40s, I suppose, late 40s.
So
I captained the first team for 3 seasons.
What were you more? Were you more a bowler, batsman, or rounder?
Opening batsman.
Opening
and
batsman.
I kept wicket for 2 or 3 seasons as well, but eventually.
When did you sort of wrap up your playing days?
Well, I was mid 40s, late 40s.
What year would that have been? I don't like to ask a man his age.
Well, you got me now, but yeah, I mean, I played up at Armold Lane for quite a few seasons, and I eventually, what I've felt a bit proud of is the fact that I didn't just finish first team cricket. I played second, third, and even 14 cricket. So
you've gone through the sort of like 4 teams?
all the way down, yes.
Are you proud that we've got 4 teams that we can play?
I'm extremely proud. I mean, lots of clubs struggle to get 2 sides out now on Saturdays, and to get 4 teams out is exceptional. The only thing that does worry me slightly is the fact that we now play very little Sunday cricket.
Yeah, this is a thing that I've talked with a few people about today on the Sunday cricket, because we used to put 2 sides up. I played myself in the Sunday second, and now in the T20 team.
Yes, yeah.
What's your view on the Sunday stuff?
I think when league cricket came in, because prior to league cricket, we started in 1970 when we played league cricket. It was the old Western League.
Yeah.
But I think now it's all league cricket, and people seem to think that's sufficient. And I think it's a great pity, because you could still play some Sunday cricket without necessarily league, or you could have a Sunday league. But it does appear to be there's very little interest in.
So what do you put the decline down to, Mike?
Well, I suspect people got lots of other things for people to do, aren't there? A variety of interests and things, and maybe they feel that one day a week's enough for cricket now. I don't know, but the concept of playing some 2020 on Sunday is quite a good idea. I think we could probably expand that into a bigger league, maybe, and play some more 2020.
I totally agree. With the beginning of, like, for example, the IPL, the Big Bash League in Australia, really trying to make the blast of thing over in England. Do you think T20 is the way forward to bring new people into the sport?
Well, it's certainly got its place. It should never replace, in my opinion, Test cricket. Test cricket to me is the ultimate, but I think it's got its place. It's obviously gets very large crowds. It's a big money spinner, and I think if people don't want to commit to a full Sunday match now, they could play a 3-hour 2020 and have a league on that basis.
Totally agree. So just going back to Briz, 150 years is such a magnificent achievement. What do you put that down to, Mike? Why do you think we've had such a long longevity?
Well, as I said before, I think we've always been a closely knit club. we've always tended to produce our own players. We always had a strong junior section, even before. I mean, it's far stronger today. A lot more juniors today. But when I started playing junior cricket for Brislington. We only ran one side then.
Oh, really?
But, yeah,
what was that sort of like? Just an under 18s?
Under 17 side we ran.
Under 17s, yeah.
But I mean, we always produce some good players, and I think that's it. I think we're generally what I would call a family club.
I totally agree. I totally agree. So you brought a book out to mark the occasion. I see it there in front of me. So it's called Total 150. Obviously to the history of Brislington Cricket Club between 1868 and 2018. So what sort of stuff do you include in the book, Mike?
Well, I thought it would be a good idea to try and have a sort of potted version of the history of the club.
Yeah.
And I first of all contacted Jonathan Rowe, who's the well-known historian of Brislington, and he gave me information regarding the early days of the club when they played on several venues here next to Brislington House, quite close to where we're playing now, in fact.
Yeah.
And then also when we moved down to West Down Lane, I was able to get a lot of information from him, and then from then on I was able to find old photographs and old press cuttings. And
so there's loads of stuff in there, loads of really good stuff, yeah.
Well, I think the problem with a book like this, you can't mention everybody, and sometimes people should have been mentioned maybe, but I tried to cover it the best I could.
So what's the sort of like obviously we don't want to go through the entirety of the book, but what's the best thing you found from your investigations and your historical findings?
I think the interesting was the move from West Down Lane to here, because we had to do that. We had the last match in September '59, and we were playing cricket up here April 1960. So it was a tremendous effort to get the square laid, the outfield done, the pavilion built. It was a ginormous effort, but from everybody, and we were always a bit concerned how it would play. But the first game up here, there was over 400 runs scored in the match. So it was. And of course, the other highlight was in 1969, Somerset approached us to play a joint player league game up here. Against Surrey, and we put up temporary grandstands were put up, and a crowd of over 3,000 came up and watched Somerset beat Surrey by 9 wickets, and in fact Greg Chappell, the Somerset's overseas player, scored the first televised 100 John League 100. So it was
that up here, was it?
Yeah, it was
the first televised 100. Yeah.
Crazy. It was quite an occasion, and Somerset were so pleased that they came back the following year to play Derbyshire, and on both occasions the match was covered by BBC Two cameras, so it went on television, and we had commentators of Jim Laker, Peter West, and of course the John Arlott was up here as a commentator, so it was quite an occasion, those two matches.
So obviously we don't get much of those matches up here anymore, but we last year even the fact we saw Ireland women take on Somerset women, it really brings to light sort of like how women's cricket is coming into the limelight.
Well, it is.
I suppose.
I mean, we're lucky now to have quite a good ladies section, and I see that expanding as time. I mean, women's cricket's taken off with the last year's Ashes win or World Cup by the English ladies. So I think that helped, and it's very encouraging to see the number of ladies playing cricket here now. So hopefully that will continue.
Yeah, that's come across in terms of like the club dinner this year, which we're holding in the Gloucestershire Pavilion. Is the first time in our history that ladies are allowed to join in a club dinner.
Well, I think the problem is you always held the dinner here at the club, and it's always limited the numbers. It tends to be a male-only thing, but I'm glad to see we are expanding this year, and we hope to have probably 200, in excess of 200 people there at the dinner, and hopefully it will be a great
Will you be there,
success.
Mike?
I shall be there, definitely, yes.
So those who don't know, Mike is there every single year, and he tells us the grace, and we're always thankful for the fact that we have food to eat and fellowship. Is it?
That's right.
And
good food and good fellowship.
And fellowship is very important to you in regards to the cricket played here at Armored Lane.
Most certainly is, and long may it continue.
Long may it continue. Thank you very much, Mike. Thank you for your time.
It's a pleasure. Thank you.
Okay, 150th anniversary here, and we are with Will Thomas. He is a member of the first team. Done really well this year. Will, 150 years, such an achievement.
Yeah, massive achievement, Bob. Brilliant for the club. Great to have this cricket week to celebrate it, and looking forward to a good week ahead.
So you were yourself playing in the opening game today against the MCC.
Yeah.
It's sort of like the pinnacle, isn't it, really?
Yeah, definitely. I think that the MCC comes with a lot of history and tradition, but I think it's nice today. We're not playing against old men.
Yeah.
We're playing against people playing in their prime.
Have you played against these guys before?
Yeah, I've played a lot against lots of these guys before in the around the clubs in Bristol, but also I've played quite a few times against the MCC for my school.
Yeah.
But obviously the MCC can be made up of any combination of players, so it's nice to play against a few new players, and not so nice to be playing against a few quick bowlers. But but yeah, it was good today.
But you yourself, Will, you've done really well this year. So what are we talking? A couple of hundreds this year.
Yeah.
Done really well with the ball as well. Just a genuine.
I don't know how.
Do you see yourself as a genuine all-rounder? What do you see yourself as? Batter, bowler, genuine all-rounder?
A batter, really. I enjoy my bowling, and obviously this year I've kind of had to fill a position in terms of bowling a bit of spin in the first team, but I still feel like my strength's my batting, and if I have to bowl, then I'll bowl. But I think it's more so the fact that we haven't got another proper spinner.
Do you feel that that's missing from your?
Definitely from my. I mean, Craig has played really well when he's come into the first team.
Craig Winterskill.
Craig Winterskill, I think he's done brilliantly when he's come into the first team. He bowled really well. He struggled a little bit recently with injuries. I think Josh Knoll, Risty, I think he's also a really good spinner. However, I do feel like going forward, either Ethan, I think, is your strike bowler, your wicket taker.
So
spinner.
With Ethan, it's a strange one, isn't it? And it covers a pretty wide base on cricket, and the fact that how do we keep people interested?
Yeah, no, I mean, I think Ethan. There's no doubt in my mind that Ethan will be playing cricket at some point for Briz.
Yeah.
I mean, it might not be this year, but I think it's a good thing. If you don't enjoy cricket, then why play? And I mean, Ethan didn't enjoy cricket last year. If he has a year off, and then he'll find his love for the game. I mean, I spoke to Jack a lot about the fact that he was going through and not enjoying his cricket, and you look at him now, and he loves playing for Briz. So it's peaks and troughs, really.
Just for those who don't know, that Ethan was a player. He's a young leg spinner. He's
talented,
very
player,
talented, really good player. But he's a young lad.
Yeah.
And for a young person in this world right at the moment, it's hard to keep an interest.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I don't think that. I think Ethan will even admit himself that he loves bowling, and I think it's so much the whole
It's
the
everything
whole day.
else.
Yeah, the whole day.
It's everything else that goes wrong with it.
And I mean, I've come up here quite a few times this year and faced Ethan in the nets, and he's bowled to me, and still bowled brilliantly, which I can't believe in bowling his leg spin. Still had me in. But yeah, it's a shame. Obviously, we missed a few players this year, and Ben Fisher as well. I feel like it's a big loss for the club, and it's gone under the radar a bit because I feel like the first team and the seconds have scored a few runs this year, but I think Ben Fisher will be a big asset going forward as well. It'd be nice to get him to play.
So, I mean, obviously you have to understand that the people listening to us might not know the ins and outs of the club.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So you mentioned these names, but what for you, like in this 150th year, what do you see as your highlight? What do you see?
Well, my highlight in obviously my 18 years of playing at Briz is 100% the time which we went to Shrewsbury for the under-13s national finals. It was a great achievement to get there with a good talented team.
Yeah.
And it was
a lot of them playing first team cricket today.
Well, a lot of them, yeah. It's good to get people coming all the way through from the age of 13 and 14 and get them in the first team at 15 and 16, a bit of experience, and then gets to the stage of now where obviously I'm 18 and getting a good go in the first team, having good responsibility. So that was my highlight. I mean, I loved that weekend. It was a great experience. It was playing against good teams in the country in 2000.
I mean, modern. You know, right now, opening batting is such a massive responsibility.
Yeah.
How do you deal with that pressure?
Well, I mean, I'm not really. I think I feel really comfortable because I've got. It's a lot down to do with the person you're batting with at the other end, and for me, I just really do enjoy batting with my partner, with Jack, and I think that Gunny does take all the pressure off me from the other end, and I try and do the same for him. But yeah, opening the batting for me is the best time because also you've got the balls as hard as it can be.
Yeah.
You've got lots of wide open gaps, and I don't need to bang the ball.
It's just sort of like, yeah, I know what you mean. It's sort of like place your split the field. And you don't have to be silly and go for the boost.
Yeah. So I've always enjoyed opening the batting the most.
So you mentioned yourself. You're 18 years old.
Yeah.
18 years old, and you hit a century this year for the first team. How was that?
Oh, mate, amazing. I can't describe how good a feeling it was. And to be honest, I never thought this year that it would happen. But the first week to play in the second to get 100, it gave me the confidence to go into the first team a couple of weeks later.
Do you think that helped?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, and also I feel like runs anywhere are runs, and it doesn't matter really whether you're playing second team, third team, fourth team cricket. If you get 50, if you get 100, you've batted well and you've done well, and that made me feel really proud to get the 100, and then to do it in the first team was obviously another level of happiness.
so moving away from like the first team, what's your obviously a massive stalwart of the club in general. What's your general consensus for the club as a whole? How do you think we're doing?
I think that the club's definitely going in the right direction. I love the fact that I'm a big believer in the fact that the women's section and the girls section is only doing good for the club.
Yeah.
I think that it's such a big part of the modern day sport, and like I've watched a lot of like the Western Storm and things like that play on the telly recently, and I think it would be brilliant to get someone like Charlie Phillips, Jamie's daughter, to get her playing in the Western Storm and inspiring.
Well, I was only talking about her this week.
Yeah.
To be fair, she played on the twos this week, and we were having a little chat. I said, I was going, how do you see yourself getting into that sort of like women's Super League and stuff like that, and playing in those teams, But it seems more possible for ladies cricket because there's not that many people taking it up.
No, I think it's definitely, obviously it's on the rise. It's becoming more popular.
Yeah.
But I think for Briz to have a really good women's and youth to girls section,
right?
I think is just exactly where the club needs to go. I think it's not so much. I think also that what we've done well this year is survive well without an overseas player. I think it's good to get people from the club doing well, having that responsibility, and it puts everything into perspective for the whole club at the end of the day.
I see what you mean. It's sort of like less, than the likes of the fact that we had a PK, which we had on earlier. PK came and chatted to us and was talking about how.
Don't get me wrong, I do want PK back. But yeah.
No, but I know what you mean. It means, in a way, it's sort of like people need to stand up more.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and I think it also shows just like the club is definitely not about the first team. Like, this is not the way the club should ever go.
You're talking to me.
Exactly.
You play fourth team cricket every week. I love it. It's great.
And that is exactly what the club, at the end of the day, that should be that equal value of importance to someone loving it in the first team and loving it in the youth section, loving it playing for the women's side.
And moving on nicely from that is the fact that Sunday cricket has been very enjoyable this year. And the fact is that it includes everyone. It really does. Me, I play in the Sunday team. I play with probably about 6 first team players.
Yeah, and then you play with a few younger players.
Younger lads, and bits and bobs from the seconds and the thirds. So it's what is it about Sunday cricket?
But I think Sunday cricket is brilliant. I think it's this year as well, having the barbecue at the club and just having that relaxed kind of, let's play 2020. Enjoy it.
So are you happy with the 2020?
Oh, definitely.
Do you think that's the way to go?
Yeah, definitely. Obviously I
You're a T20 generation, aren't you? Essentially.
But I am still quite a purist in the way that I'd obviously rather play the 50 over games. But I think 2020 it's good fun, it's good crack in that you go out on a Sunday, have a bit of a bash and enjoy yourself, and I think that's a good place for the club to be.
Speaking personally,
you've had a great time. the most unbelievable catch last week, yeah.
You know it.
But I mean that also, like, at the end of the day, you've got probably one of the best players in our first team league above out. And I think that just shows the Sunday cricket.
Stop it, Will. Stop it.
But I just think that shows the Sunday cricket does just mean that, you know what?
Everyone's got a chance.
Everyone's got a chance. Everyone's going to enjoy it. It doesn't matter if you get him out, he's not going to go, blah, blah, blah. If you hit him six, you don't get sad.
I'm pretty sure he is a bit miffed that he got to a 14 player. But,
especially after the celebration.
No, it wasn't that bad, Will. It wasn't that bad.
I do think it's good. The Sunday cricket's been great. All the cricket this year I've really enjoyed. Obviously,
it seems sort of, like I was talking about this recently. It's like a rejuvenation of the way the ethos is and the way we not in the sense of the way we play our cricket, but the way we are as a club.
Yeah.
It's just different this year.
Yeah, no, I mean I think that's come about from a few years really. I think that last year, obviously, having Mike Sherratt, our overseas from last year, he was a very relaxed, kind of laid-back character.
Definitely,
took everything in his stride, and I think that lots of people it rubbed off on lots of people in the club. Not so much
and seeing how you could do well by not taking everything so seriously.
Yeah, and I mean, even everyone really is taking a bit more of a laid-back attitude. I mean, Reece and Will as well this year, they've been a bit more laid back with their cricket and done well. I mean, Reece scoring 100 this year for the first team has been brilliant. I know he's
done great since.
But I said to him at the end of the day, 100's 100. I'd rather get 100 one week than 20 every week.
Yeah.
So
I mean
I think that it's still an unbelievable achievement, and against the best side in our league as well. So it's. You can't really take nothing away from him.
You know, 150 years. You know, we both might be here at the 170th. Probably not myself, but the 175th. We'll both definitely be here.
Yeah.
But you know, where would you like to see Briz when we get to the the stage
25
when
years time?
No. Like in 50 years time, at the 200th one, but both probably. I'll probably be
68.
Gone.
No,
but
you'll be
fine. A fit man like yourself probably would be, still around. Where would you like to see the club? You know, as you probably will be a non-playing member. Where would you like to see the club into?
68. I hope I'll be knocking the ball around every now and again. 50 years time, I think. I don't want. At the end of the day, you want this. The ultimate goal really is survival as a club.
Yeah.
I know that it sounds kind of negative, but it's going to go more and more that way, and if we still can get 3 sides out in 50 years time, I think that's going to be unbelievable. And I do think also the recent change, obviously we're going to try and sell this bottom part of the ground. I think that could get a bit of money for us, and I think that the investment into the club, the infrastructure and the setup,
people don't get that today.
People
don't get that. They think, there's cricket, a sports club around the place. They're here forever. And stuff like that. But the fact is, we still got bills to play.
Yeah, exactly. We got a lot of bills to play. I think that also there's lots of clubs who you look at. Do get jealous in the fact that you see clubs like Bath.
No. Yeah, I know what you mean. Bath, Bedminster,
they've got
guys have got a great location.
They've got a good location, but they've got a good youth setup, and they bring players through, and that is.
You can't be mad about it, can you?
No,
really?
You can't. At the end of the day, I love really both the clubs are brilliant places to play cricket, and I think if obviously this is the best around. But I think if we could just...
Bit boys.
100%. But I think that if we could maintain the fact that this is the best club to play at in Bristol, then that's all I'll be happy with.
Well, it's been a great pleasure, my friend.
Thank you very much.
It's been, this is a thing. You're 18 years old, but you're coming on, you're chatting so maturely and wanting to talk about the club that you care about so much. And for that, it really sums up what the 150th is all about. It's all about the past and it's all about the future.
Yeah.
So thanks very much, Will, for coming on.
Thank you very much, Bob. Cheers, mate.
What a great one to finish on. Will Thomas there chatting about, you know, what cricket means to him, and he is, like of other people we've interviewed today, he's the youngest person, and he's the future of our club, and he's you know, every club in the Bristol radius and up and down the country should be realising that if they want their club to survive 150 years or maybe another 300 years, then the longevity of that club is to get youth players in and get yourself a really good junior section, because that's what Bris do so well. You know, the average age of the first team, like one of our interviews said, is 23, which is quite phenomenal when you consider the amount of old players that are still at the club and could probably still do a job in the first team. So that's what I'd suggest, you know, you take away from this. And thanks so much for listening. I know it's a little bit biased to me this week, and it's talking a lot about sort of Brislington with Brislington people. I've got, hopefully, a huge name coming up on the next podcast. Just trying to organise when the best time would be, because he is quite a busy man. And as soon as that's confirmed, I'll put it on the Twitter feed, and we'll get going on that. Until then, thanks for listening to this week's Rob Moore podcast, otherwise known now as More or Less. Thanks very much, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.